Here's question 3b. So the question itself talks about somebody that's made a statement, and they say a higher proportion of males in the 2008 survey parked in disability parks without a permit than females. So they're saying a higher proportion of males parked in the disability parks than the females did. And so we need to look at what evidence might be in the report to support this. So there's a little comment in here about our 2008 survey, and the males. So we're going to have a look at that in more detail. So it says that they found that the males were more likely to abuse parks, with 59% of those observed parking in a disability park without a permit being male. So what that means is that somebody sat there and observed people parking in a particular disabled parking space without a permit and recorded whether they were male or female. And they found that from all the people that were doing this, 59% of those people were male. So that's what we've got to first of all say, is that the reader has made a statement about the proportion of people in total. So from all the people that they've found that did this, 59% of those people were male. Now we need to look at the statement that's been made by the reader, and the reader talks about a higher proportion of males in the survey parked without permits than males. So it's saying a higher proportion of males in the survey. Now the only males that were in the survey are those who, so this is not the same as a proportion of males, because the first probability, the 59%, talks about the proportion of people. So from all of the people that parked in there, this percentage was males, which is quite different from saying the proportion of males who parked. We don't know how many males there are in total in the country. Well, we could find out, but the sample hasn't gone in and found a sample of males and then observed whether or not they were parking in a not regular parking space or a disabled parking space. So the person collecting the data hasn't observed all males parking. They have simply observed a particular disabled park or parks and observed who parked in those. So these two statements are different, okay? So we don't actually know how many males there were in this survey, and so we can't say that there is a higher proportion of males that abuse disability parking spaces as they claimed. So for an achieved, you need to identify that the data that you've got is proportional data, and it's about the proportion total. Whereas for your merit, you need to go into more detail and talk about how that statement can't be made. We need more information. We need to know the actual number of males that might have been trying to park, and find from all the males that are parking, how many of them parked in a disabled park, versus from all the females that were parking, how many of those parked in a disabled park.